I'm James Strickland. I'm running for president. Transparency should be in our government, and that includes the president and all high elected officials, to where we should be able to live stream them and see what they are doing. Also, that would require that everybody in the country has free internet, which is an easily achievable task and is one that we need to bring our country into the future. The people should be able to interact and access the government at any time. You start hearing about a backdoor deal that Bank of America is making with Exxon and politician A. Good thing we got cameras and we can see what's going on, because that's the kind of shit that's not going to work in our country. What do we do when things start going a little bit crazy and power gets out of control? We seem to start making sure that the people can see what's going on, so that the individuals that have said power realize that they are not above the law and they are not above the people. You give police cameras, so make sure that they're on the up and up. You put cameras in schools to make sure that the individuals coming are who they say they are. Still, in politics, we act like it's 1800s and just elect somebody and wait 3 or 4 years and hope that the news can actually report what's going on. But as we see, even 4 years later, we start getting reports about all the shit that went on under our nose in politics. That needs to stop. Transparency is key. We need our country to come back to being for and by the people. The people need more interaction, more say, more access, and more ability to control what's going on in their country. We need the individuals that have given up on politics and government because they're so corrupt to wake the fuck up and join this, help spread the message, and help get the information out so that we can make an impact on our country. My name is James Strickland, and I'm running for President of the United States as an individual that is trying to promote transparency and anti-censorship in our country. Things like China coming over, owning 20 to 30% of every movie, media, gaming corporation that we have in our country, and getting these top stars to sit down and say, China's right. Hong Kong shouldn't fight for their freedom. Oh, you stand for the protesters? That's not good. You're fired. That's ridiculous. How is our free speech and our base premise of every human should be free going out the window because China owns some stuff? That needs to stop. All the companies that are bowing down to it and letting it happen, that needs to be held accountable. All these giant monopolies that are controlling everything, like YouTube deciding who's going to show up on the front page. Oh, I get so mad. All that censorship needs to stop. Voices should be heard, even if it's the dumbest person in the world, and they want to talk about the lollipop that's going to take over the world. There's no right that I have or anyone in the entire country has to shut that person up and tell them, no, you can't speak, be quiet. Because that's how you start classifying people into different classes. That's how you get to the point where you have a class of people that you don't listen to and has no ability to speak up. Bad things happen. We've seen that in history. The only way it will work is if everybody's the same, everybody's free, and everybody has the same rights as everybody else. We need to get this country back on track. I'm James Strickland, and I'm going for president. I mentioned it before. Transparency and censorship needs to stop. More transparency, no censorship. Help me spread my message, because I have no money, I have no funding, and I'm just a normal person that has a chip on their shoulder at this point on how screwed up our politics have gotten in the last 4 to 8 years. Let's give them a good window. It's kind of ridiculous, and it's kind of ridiculous that when Facebook shows up and gets to talk to Congress or the House, and they tell them things, that all these old motherfuckers are sitting in there like, oh, okay, you don't spy on people? Oh, all right. They don't even know anything. They don't know about the internet. They don't know about security. They don't know about cyber backgrounds. I've done all of that. And I can tell you that Facebook lied, open, publicly, to our government and got away with it. And then they say, oh, we'll make changes since you mentioned it. And they change 1 or 2 small things and something else happens. And they go, oh, it was the computer program, not a person. Well, we have people debunking that left and right, and nobody's being held accountable and nothing's being done. But I guarantee you, within the next few months, you're going to hear Donald Trump come out and say, stop censoring all these people. If he really cared about it, he'd have been doing this years ago when it started. He'd have made sure that there was no censorship if you're going to declare yourself as a platform that's open and public to everyone. If you're a publisher, that's a whole nother story. You can write whatever the hell you want and block whoever the hell you want. But these big social media groups are saying they are not publishers. They are platforms open to everyone. At that point, then, you can't censor people because of what they say. It doesn't work that way unless it's some kind of law violation. We need to get our country back, guys. Sorry. I know realistically that there's no way I would ever be president. However, I want this message out there and I want to be taken serious. Stop messing with the individual's rights and freedoms. We do not care about Donald Trump going somewhere. We don't care about what fashion trends going on at the White House. How's that the only news we're getting nowadays? With all the bad stuff and good stuff going on. What about our education system? You can't figure out a report on that? You can't show why there's people that are homeless because the banks were able to rob them and lie to them and take all their stuff? Come on, man. I'm James Strickland, and I'm running as the Transparency President. Please share whatever it needs to be done. And if you reach out, I'll try my best to answer any comments or any questions. No, I'm not going to shave my beard. Somebody mentioned that. And I said, no way, man. I'm legit an average person, normal, trying to get a message out. And I feel like we can do it if we work together and push for more transparency in our government. Even if that one thing gets out there, then job accomplished. Help me.